Today we're going to take a look at the K2 versus the cheap Chinese knockoff, and we're going to do a quick test, see which is more sensitive, and then we're going to take a look inside of one and see what the real difference between the two is, and see if it's worth paying the $60 for a K2 versus $25 for the cheap knockoff. So first, let's go ahead and conduct our little sensitivity test and see what we come up with. Then we'll go ahead and take a look inside. Alright, here's what we're going to use to test. We're going to go ahead and set up a couple plasma balls and see how the K2s work. Okay, so on the left, we're going to have our cheap knockoff, and on the right, we're going to have our authentic K2. So let's go ahead and crank them on and see what we can come up with. So, alright, as you can tell, the one on the left, our cheap knockoff, is already pegging out almost, not even close, and our authentic K2 is at maybe the yellow somewhat. So let's see. So it appears that the cheap knockoff is super sensitive. So I don't know which is more accurate. I'm going to go ahead and say the K2 probably is more accurate. But as everybody knows, the K2 meter is just used to test fluctuations. If you wanted to get accurate with numbers and readings, then you would have to get a more expensive meter. Or you can try the Meteric K thing. But for today, we're just taking a look at the K2s. So, alright, now that we can see which is more sensitive, let's go ahead and take a look on the inside and see what we got. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open her up and see what we have inside. Maybe there's something inside that can tell us why the different sensitivities. There's plenty of videos out there that if you want to look and see cosmetically how to tell the difference between the K2s, there's plenty of videos out there, so I won't go into all that. But there you have your cheap knockoff and your actual K2. This is going to be your real K2 here, and this is going to be your cheap knockoff. So let's try to zoom in and see if there's any clear differences. I'll go ahead and attach a picture in the video here in a second, but just a quick look, you can tell that the boards are pretty much similar and the layout is pretty similar. The microprocessors and LM324 and on both of them, so those are similars. These are all the same here. These are PN200-As on both boards. Those are similar. The capacitors are the same values, so those are all pretty much the same. So everything design wise is pretty much similar as the K2 and the knockoff. So the question is, why did the knockoffs use 5-band resistors while the K2 uses 5-band and 4-band resistors? So Alright, let me go take a look at the values. Maybe the values are different on the resistors. Alright, so I've done a quick sketch of the K2 board layout, and I wrote all the values of each resistor down. If you notice where I have the little arrows pointing, these values are different than the cheap knockoff. So 570, 550, and then the ones over here will be 570 and 570. So we have 5 different resistor values from the K2 from the cheap knockoff. So theory number 1 is if I swap these 5 resistors out, then the sensitivity should be the same on both of them, between the K2 and the cheap knockoff. So I'm going to go ahead and swap those out and see if that's what fixes it. And in that case, it's just 5 resistors to switch, and you got a K2 for half the price. That's my theory number 1. Alright, so let me work that out, and I'll be right back when I do that. Alright, so what I did here real quick, if you notice, I removed the resistors from R5, R24, R25, R23, and R22. Those were the ones that had a different resistor value. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the appropriate resistor values.